Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is my rat rod project that I've been working on for about 6 months now. I started in December and I have about 20 videos, 19 or 20 videos of it now. So if you want to catch up, I'll put a link in the description for the playlist. But anyway, we don't have a lot of time this week. I have a busy weekend coming up and I'm probably not going to get to the project. So this might be a quick video. But anyway, what I need to do now is I need to make some final adjustments in the front end. And let me bring you in and I'll kind of show you what I have in mind and what we need to do here. Okay, so first things first, I need to get this front end figured out. And the issue that I'm trying to fix now is, you see how loose this is, this leaf spring? These U-bolts that are holding the leaf spring in place, I need to make a relief cut or do something to space out, because there's a bracket down here that you tighten up into the leaf spring in order to keep it and hold it tightly in here. And I need to make a spacer for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the leaf spring off. And once the leaf spring's off, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, because it might be hard to see from this angle. So I think I've got everything in view here so you can see. So pretty much what I need to do is, if you can see this area here, I need to clearance this so that this bracket that holds on the leaf spring can tighten up more and hold that leaf spring in place better, because right now it's fouling out on the bottom of this. So pretty much what I need to do is I'm just going to measure the height. So I need to take about a 1/2 inch out of this here in order to get the clearance that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and let me go find a marker. Okay, so I have my marker now. And basically I need to come up about a 1/2 inch here. I wonder if I could just get away with drilling a single hole there. All right, so I have my 1/2 inch drill bit. I think I'm just going to drill a hole right here, right in the center. And that should get me close to what I need. So right there. Okay, this battery is basically junk. All right, so I think I've got the clearances that I need. You can see I just hollowed that out a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and put the leaf spring back in. All right, so now that my leaf spring is secured, I need to set my caster angle. And in my case, my caster angle will be determined by how far back this axle is leaning, and that will be determined in degrees. So what I've done is, if you can see, I have my angle finder here, and my goal here is to have somewhere between 4 and 9 degrees of caster. And I'm gonna put it about in the middle, and I'm gonna aim for 7. So my angle finder needs to be set at 83 degrees. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to raise up this split wishbone, or this radius arm, I guess it's called now, in order to achieve, because if you can see here, let me just bring you in. So if you can see here, my caster angle is currently at 78 degrees. And that is 78 minus 90. So that means whatever that math is, 14 degrees, no, 8, 9, 10, 12 degrees. So now I need to bring this up. So let me just show you what I'm gonna do in order to help that angle get to where I want it to be. So it's kind of hard to show everything I'm doing at once. So I'm gonna show you this first, and I'll explain what I'm doing right now. I'm raising up this radius arm, and I want to go until that angle finder reaches 83 degrees, because 90 minus 83 is 7, which will give me the desired caster angle that I'm looking for. So right about there. And I'll bring you over here and I'll show you exactly what I just did. So all I did was, I'm keeping an eye on my caster angle, and I'm raising this up until that reaches 83 degrees. And that's about right there. So now I'm going to take a measurement. And this frame is about 5 inches, 5 inches tall. And it looks like I might be pretty close to the center. And I say I want to make it 7 degrees. I'm not going to be too upset if it's not exactly that. So I'm just going to get it close as I can. And right now it looks like it's going to be favoring the top. How far off is it? If I go to 2.5, I'll be at 8 degrees. And the thing is too, if I make the angle too sharp, then the steering wheel and the wheels will want to snap back to straight more quickly. And a friend of mine was just telling me today that they had a car with a extreme pinion angle, and it nearly broke their thumb. So I kind of want to avoid that. And also, extreme pinion angle is mostly like for drag cars, because the wheels basically force themselves straight when you're going forward. And this is a street car, so I kind of want to get in the middle. I don't want crazy angle because I want the car to handle better, and that's the compromise that you make when you adjust the pinion angle. You either go for like drag style steering or street style, or if you go too close to 90 degrees, you end up getting understeer because the tires are rolling too flat and you don't have as much contact surface. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna favor the upper half, and I'm gonna start, actually I gotta go find a marker. I'm gonna jack up this axle a bit because of course the weight is going to be on the weight of the engine, and of course the rest of the car is gonna be on I'm just trying to get it so that the jack isn't interfering. the weight of the car is going to be on the axle, so I kind of want to get it close. Let me see, I just don't, just go to the side a little bit. I don't want to favor one side enough. Okay, it's going up pretty straight. So the weight of the car, of course, is going to affect how my angle and how high up I go. So I kind of want to put some weight on it before I adjust this, because then I'll be able to more easily gauge. So I'm just lifting up the jack until the weight comes off the jack stands. Actually, let me lower that back down. I really do gotta go closer to center. I guess it doesn't really matter where this is too much as it matters where the jack goes. Because the jack needs to be centered, so I lift up both sides evenly. Okay, there we go. So I'm just lifting the car up until the weight just comes off the jack stands, because I don't want to affect my caster angle by having the car at a level. So now we're off the jack stands. See, I can move them freely, but not too much where it's gonna make a difference in my measurement. And you can see just by doing that, I was able to get to 83 degrees as opposed to lifting up the wishbones or the trailing arms, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called after you divorce the wishbone. And I meant caster angle, not pinion angle. So I keep saying pinion angle because I was just working on the pinion angle, but I mean caster angle. So I'm just gonna bring you guys in right here. I can see my angle finder from here. And this is kind of high going up into this area. And I do not wanna contact this part of the body. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick the exact center of this as where I'm gonna put my, where I'm gonna bolt this through. And if I adjust it to that mark I just made here, I only lose about half a degree. So I'm at 82.5 degrees. And I'm okay with that because, you know, I wanted to get 7, but now we're at 7.5, and it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. But this car will definitely handle good in a straight line. And I guess I gotta, you know, be honest with myself. You know, with a solid front axle, you know, this car probably isn't going to handle the best. I might be surprised, but I'm not really looking to make like a high performance handling sports car here. I'm just trying to build something. So, but anyway, I'm going to settle for, you know, the 2.5 inches here. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to do this side and then just replicate it on the other side, because we have plenty of adjustment in this heim joint, and that will allow us to adjust the other side to whatever we need to do as long as we get our location correct. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the jack, and I guess I'm going to put myself right here. You know what? I'll circle this like that. And as long as I'm close to here, I'm good. So I'll just measure again at 2.5 inches, and then I'll go ahead and drill a hole. Okay. So I got my marker. I'm just gonna find 2.5, which would be kind of in the middle of the frame. I'm talking with a marker in my mouth. 2.5 inches puts me in the middle of the frame. So that's where it's gonna go. So let me get a punch. I'm gonna put a dimple in that and then go ahead and drill a small hole. Perfect. Now my next goal is I would like everything to match from one side to the next. So let me actually see if the tip of this marker, yeah. Well, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this piece of paper here. Actually, let me do it like this, because then it'll kind of sandwich in. So I got the cardboard in here, and I'm gonna just circle all my holes. Like that. Hit this guy. Yep, got a mark. And then this square here. And then this square here. There we go. And now, if I flip this and hold it on the side of the frame, I can locate my, I can locate this hole on that side. I'm just gonna do a little hole here. There. Now I have a hole in this. That when I go over there, I'll just take the center punch and punch it right through. So if you can see here, these holes are the same on this side as they are on the other side, so it makes it easy to locate where things should go. So I'm just kind of looking at this back panel and lining everything up. It lines up really, really nicely. Let me just show you. So if you can see my lines from the other side, I'm just lining them up. That looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and do my center punch while you guys are over there on that side. Yeah, and look, exactly 2.5 inches, just like the other side. So yeah, we did pretty good on that. So if you can see, I have my step bit on, and I had these sleeves made. A friend of mine with a lathe just turned these. This is 1.25 inch round stock with a 5/8 hole through the center. And I'm gonna weld it in there, but I have to make a hole that's the same size as this. And I have my step bit here, and unfortunately it does not have a step for 1.25 inch because it goes from 1 1/8 directly to 1 3/8. So I've colored the 1 3/8 portion of the step bit. So what I'll do is after I make my way through the 1 1/8, I'll slowly drill and then just keep test fitting this until I get close. I don't think it's gonna be perfect, but I can always make some adjustments later if I do go a little bit overboard. So anyway, here we go. There we go, perfect. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but that's not gonna affect us at all. So I'm just drilling a hole in this steel plate, or this steel piece of steel here. Now I have these 5/8 bolts here, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up that hole to 5/8 of an inch. And this is just how I mark out this bit. Yeah, so right here is 3/4, which is right after 5/8. So if I mark this color or this step, then I know that once I hit here, I'll stop. So that's 5/8. This bolt should go right in. There we go. So I just drilled the hole in this piece of steel. And what I'm trying to accomplish is just watch me assemble this. So basically what I did is you can see how that bung or that sleeve is protruding out of the frame there. And then I have, sorry about the camera, this piece of steel, and it's flush with the back of that because I plan on boxing in this frame, and that piece of steel is basically keeping it flush with this outside edge of the frame. And when I box it in, I plan on putting the piece of steel I used to box it in, I plan on insetting it into the frame so that this bung will protrude and I can weld it around the edge, if that makes sense. But we'll get there eventually, hopefully within the next few weeks. But that's pretty much where we're at with the suspension, and that's where it's gonna sit. Let's get an angle from down here. And I just gotta adjust the camera. And it's pretty good and mostly level. I'm not really too concerned about it being super level, but it's looking pretty good. So now that we have this assembled and mocked up and we figured out what we want to do, I'm going to take it apart and clean it up and get it ready to weld in place. Oh, my welding helmet battery died. Went to 3 different places and I found the batteries. All right, so I'm back. Got a new battery for my welding helmet, so I'm gonna try to tackle this again. I think I'm out of argon. Welding helmet still isn't working. So we got done a little bit less than I was hoping in this video. My welding helmet looks like it's took a dump and I'm out of argon. So hopefully the next week or so I can get these things sorted out. I do have a busy weekend coming up and I'm going out of town. So looks like I probably won't be able to get back on this project for about another week, a little over a week and a half maybe, I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, I'm pretty excited with the way things are going despite these minor setbacks, but that's just the way things go. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It really helps the channel out, and please go and follow me on Instagram, Kevin's Builds. I'll put it across the screen, maybe here somewhere. But there's a fly. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. We have some pretty big things coming up with the project in the next couple weeks. So hopefully, if you're subscribed, you'll be able to see that. So anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.